Father Michael Wieder, Dean of St. George's Cathedral in central Cape Town, has delivered his final sermon on his retirement. The cathedral has played an instrumental role over the years in addressing social issues under late Archbishop Desmond Tutu, among others. Wieder has served the congregation since 2011. Yazeed Kamaldien joins me now with more. Yazeed, good to speak to you this afternoon. What exactly is the Dean going to be doing with his time post-retirement?
I definitely am going to ask the Dean what he'll be doing with his retirement. We got an idea during the final service here as Dean that he will still be continuing to serve the community, but I'm going to be joined now by Father Michael Wieder, who will talk to us more about today's event, his last service here as Dean of the Cathedral, which has played such a pivotal role for various people, whether it's activists, politicians, and just the congregation, the community that's been built around this church through the work of Archbishop Desmond Tutu, and of course also Father Michael Wieder. Let's talk to him now. Now, Father Wieder, you had your last service here as the Dean of this church. How does it feel in this moment?
No, it had a certain great magic about it in the way that people that I hadn't seen for really many decades really were there, and people I just got to know recently. Such a warm embrace of love and affection. I am still having to come to terms with it, but it was a blessed. It was a way that I was happy to be ushered into my retirement as Dean, as priest of the cathedral. No longer Dean, and it was good, it was inspiring and also humbling.
Now we saw Zane Dango, the Director General of International Relations, he had a poem, there were musicians, there were also other dignitaries, other people who were here, the widow of Archbishop Desmond Tutu and her children and grandchildren were as well. There were a range of people. Did you feel the love?
Yeah, look, I know Zane Dango as less as a government official, but more as a friend, a fellow poet. And I was very charmed that he could, in his busyness, still be here. Mom, Leah, we refer to her as our mother. She's just such tender affection. And then all like Hilton Sheila was there, he played the korabo. And the program became very chock-a-block, and so we couldn't engage and utilize everything that we had intended, but it was God blessed. As we say, God was merciful in His grace and in His presence.
Now, the Archbishop Thabo Makgoba of the Anglican Church also said that you are going to be, or you are a canon. Now, for our viewers who don't know what that entails, please tell us more about that.
So I'm an honorary canon, and means canons normally are people who are of a diocese, which is a geographical space where of X amount of congregations, parishes, and the canon is normally someone that's learned in canon law and is one of the advisors to the given bishop of a diocese. An honorary canon of Southern Africa means that you are recognized as being a groot man, as one who has made a contribution to the life and ministry of the church in one form or the other. And so being a canon is a wonderful, a big love you, I love you, we love you from the church, from the bishops of the Anglican Church of Southern Africa.
Now, as a groot man or a big man, does that mean you will still be serving your community in some capacity? Tell us about that.
Yeah. Look, at the moment, I have no real clarity other than I'm now a free agent. I have a lot of spare time. What I do on a Sunday, what I do in weekdays. The world is my cathedral. And my own quiet desire in my prayers that I make is that I will be able to utilize my abilities and my God-given talents, and that God will lead me and light the way. My quiet hope is that I could benefit from the wisdom of young people and the insight that they bring into our lives, and then also to share the accumulated gifts of experience whoever wishes to benefit from it. I'm particularly committed to working with the young men of our society, because as we become very gender assertive in terms of women. There's something that when we get something right in one way, we then kind of neglect on the other hand. And I do sense a kind of wallowing away of young men in some ways, particularly when you're dealing with the consequences of poverty, the nature of family, the absence of fathers, absence of men.
Do we refer to you now as Canon Michael Wieder?
From Mike.
From Mike.
No, it's the Reverend Canon, if you want to be in our Woolies inclined, but yeah, no, it's the Reverend Canon Michael Wieder.
Thank you so much. That was Reverend Canon Michael Wieder, or Bra Mike as he wants to refer to it, and that concludes this afternoon's events here at the St. George's Cathedral. I'll hand it back to you in the studio.